With Zendikar Rising spoilers finally coming to a close, and everyone's brain in total brew mode, well, not everyone. I know some of you like to wait until the next top 8 and just put together what's great, and that's a fine way to play and all, I guess, but anyway, now is a perfect time to look at the most hyped cards coming in Zendikar Rising. What's up, everybody? This is MTGenius, and here's my top 10 most powerful cards in Zendikar Rising. Now, I need to preface by saying this is, in my opinion, and I'm sure it won't match up to your favorites, but I would love to see if you guys are as excited for these as I am. So leave a comment if your favorite was on the list, or even if it wasn't. Let me know. But without any further ado, let's get right into it. Number 10. Confounding Conundrum. Every rant player's worst nightmare, Confounding Conundrum can hinder the opponent severely if they are trying to get a lot of mana out quickly. Ugin might not see his turn 4 usual if one of these are out. As far as other formats outside of Standard, Commander will definitely see the most impact. The first 2 to 3 turns of a casual Commander game are usually spent ramping. I can already hear the groans as some decks are completely slowed down by this one card. Number 9. Scourge of the Skyclaves. If you follow my Facebook page, then you already know an interesting interaction between Scourge and Nethroi Apex of Death, but I believe this card will be at its most power in aggro-on-aggro matchups. With the Scourge getting more buff as each player's life total goes down, it is a great low-costing answer to early aggression. Magic Aids recently made an awesome video showcasing how good the Scourge can be in a modern aggro deck. I'll leave a link to his video in the description so you can check it out when you're finished here. Number 8. Ancient Greenwarden. Already being dubbed Land Harmonicon, the Ancient Greenwarden grants an additional trigger for a land entering the battlefield. Zendikar Rising has been shown to have ample landfall synergies, so any of them would match well with the Greenwarden. With Yarok the Desecrated rotating into Historic, it opens up even more possibilities for even more land triggers. I currently run Yarok as a commander with landfall, so Land Harmonicon will slot in nicely. The Crucible of Worlds extra ability can be relevant in certain situations as well. Number 7. Nissa of Shadowed Boughs. Nissa of Shadowed Boughs. Nissa of Shadowed Boughs. One of only 3 main set planeswalkers, Nissa Ravine is back in black. Golgari Nissa has landfall as a static ability, which gives you the opportunity to ultimate her the turn she is played, provided that you make your land drop after playing her. The ultimate allows a free casting of a creature from your hand or graveyard with CMC equal to the number of lands you control. Pretty strong, but her +1 ability is just as good, untapping a land that becomes a 3/3 with haste and menace. Only thing is, unlike Nissa who shakes the world, the land becomes only a land at end of turn. It's not as powerful as her 5 CMC counterpart, but in the right deck, Golgari Nissa can put in work. Number 6. Forsaken Monument. Although it probably won't see much play in Standard, Forsaken Monument will definitely shine in Commander and maybe even some modern decks. Giving colorless creatures +2/+2 while also ramping and gaining life, this is an Eldrazi player's wet dream. And for those reasons, it makes its way onto the list. Number 5. Ashaya, Soul of the Wild. Coming down and making all of your non-token creatures into forests is completely insane. Each creature played triggers landfall and also has the ability to tap for mana. This can lead to some early blowouts, not to mention each land and creature played increases Ashaya's power and toughness. With all of your creatures also being lands, they dodge a good amount of removal that must target a non-land. My favorite interaction for Standard would have to be Mythos of Snap decks. Since all your creatures are lands, you won't have to sacrifice any, making it a pseudo one-sided board wipe. Number 4. Lithoform Engine. Another amazing artifact, Lithoform Engine manages to fit itself into many decks. Having the ability to copy abilities, instants and sorceries, or even creatures at will seems very powerful. Mixed with cards like Zerda the Dawnbringer, and copying a creature for 2 mana seems like a pretty good rate. I can see a lot of busted things in this card's future. Number 3. Leyline Tyrant. This card is bonkers. It essentially has the same ability as the OG Omnath, but for red. Mana that accumulates and doesn't go away after phases or even turns can build up extremely fast in a matter of a few turns. Cards like Neheb the Eternal and Historic allow you to make a ton of mana for each life your opponent lost, so you can build up and get the Tyrant's second ability off. Use all your saved mana to laser beam the opponent in one go. Number 2, Lotus Cobra. As if ramp wasn't already getting out of hand, going as far as banning Growth Spiral a month before rotation, Lotus Cobra makes its grand reappearance in Standard. In a set that already has a ton of ramp and landfall support, I can quickly see Lotus Cobra giving ramp an even higher boost than it has now. Every ramp spell nets you mana to use on other things immediately. Shenanigans are incoming. Before we get to the number 1 spot, let's take a look at some honorable mentions. Number 1, Morag, Fury of Akram. Now before we go any further, let's just take a second to bask in the overpoweredness of this card. Lands matter in Zendikar, and lands get you extra combat phases. Not only that, but also pumps your creatures, giving them the battle cry effect for each new combat. I can 110% guarantee this card will make a heavy impact in Standard and Commander for sure. Morag will be the deciding factor in a lot of creature-heavy decks looking to make that final surge. This card is bonkers. Thanks for watching this episode of MTGenius Top 10. If you like this video, you should consider sharing and leaving a comment to help the YouTube algorithm. Subscribing is a great way to support the channel, and it keeps me bringing awesome content for you. Another way to support the channel is to become a patron over at patreon.com/MTGenius. There are several tiers on there with their own unique rewards, and best of all, you will be helping the channel grow. This is MTGenius, and I will talk to you guys in the next one.